Okay, they've been separated for 18 months and been living their own lives. But I think it's time to get these two back together. G'day guys, welcome back to MG Rebuild and welcome to a nice sunny wintry day. It's only about 8-9 degrees Celsius, so it's a bit chilly. But as I was talking about in the intro, we're going to put the engine back in the chassis and marry them back up. So keep watching and see how we do it. Okay, the chassis has been sitting outside for the last 9 months or so. It's been under cover, under plastic, but it still has weathered a bit. So what we need to do is give it a good clean up, start with, and then just see how things are looking. There are a couple of things I'll need to take off and redo, repaint, and might be a couple of things I may need to replace, but it's not too bad. So anyway, let's start off by giving it a good soaking and see how well it cleans up. Okay, now let's grab the camera and we'll have a bit of a look. Okay, I mean there's a few things that need to be touched up again. Hard to see there. A few spots of rust have crept in. This is obviously from when I, perhaps chipped off a bit of paint when I was doing some fittings, some trial fittings with the body tub and that. Little bits of rust on the nut and things like that here and there. Nothing major. The actual brake master cylinder fork, whatever you want to call it, that's quite rusty, so that will need to be redone. Once again, one of the outriggers, just paint got scraped off when I was doing the body tub. And just a few spots here and there. A little bit of rust there, which I can easily treat. But overall, hasn't fared too badly. Yes, the copper, nickel, iron brake lines, they have changed colour, but that's fine. That's what they do. But overall, not too bad. A few little touch-ups here and there, and then I'll be ready to start putting the body tub on. But for today, we're going to put the engine on, or in. Okay, I've taken the valve cover off, and I've also taken off the rocker cover, the rocker gear as well. It's just so I've got some room to lift it from there. I've seen other people lift it from the actual head bolts, but they're all torqued down nicely, and then I let it sit for a couple of days, and then I re-torqued it again, so I don't want to touch those at the moment. So what I've done, I've built this lifting bar. I've put these little spacers on there. I'm going to lift it from the actual valve cover bolts. Now they are strong enough, believe me. And sorry, let's take those washers off. We need those. Watch this go on top. And it's got to find the other one, wherever it went.
Thirsty foot.
Oh, yeah. And we just screw them down, bolt them down. Now we want to make sure it's nice and tight, but we also don't want to go over tight and strip the actual the threads on it. That's pretty good. Okay. Then we put this on the engine crane. So to jack him up a little bit. And now, it's just got one of those engine levelers on the crane at the moment, just to so the engine doesn't hang down one end or something like that. Now you normally have 4 chains on it, but because it's a small engine, it's not going to need all that. So we'll just stick with the 2. That'd be plenty. Now the bar's also nice and long as well, so we've got a little bit of directional movement with it. Now you also notice that the actual gearbox is not on here. The reason for that is I'm having to do a bit of a repair job on the selector shaft for first and second gear. One, I noticed it was a little bit damaged and it wasn't moving correctly through the actual unit, through the gearbox. So I've got another one coming for that, so hopefully that will be in here soon and I can then put the gearbox in while it's in the car. So it's not a big deal. Now, we just got to take the engine crane off. Now, I'm leaving it on the actual mounts, and the reason for that is it gives me something to actually support the back end on, because normally the back end is of course bolted down with the gearbox, but since the gearbox is not there, we will use this. Now I'll go that away. That is close enough. Can you move your tripod? And we're about out of room, so we'll have to work with what we've got. Now I have replaced the engine mount. It's loosely bolted in there at the moment, so just for alignment issues. Okay. let's see if we can get it down. That bar there is just to support the gearbox. Sorry, the back end of the the engine. Okay, we can now just drag it forward a bit. Just got my cameraman to watch that back end. Need to creep forward again.
It's on there.
It's on there as well?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, there we go. It's now sitting in there. What we still need to do is obviously put on the side brace. I'll just need to centre him up a bit, because as you can see, it's still got a bit of rocking motion there. So we'll put on the side mount afterwards, but we'll bolt the first one down, the first mount down first, the engine mount down first, somehow. Easier said than done. That's going to be fun. I reckon it's going to be easier to do it the other way around first. Yeah, there's very little room to get into the actual engine mount bolt. It actually bolts directly onto the chassis. So what we'll do, we'll lift it back up, bolt the engine rubber mount to the chassis first, and then put the other bolts in. So see if that makes any better for us. And of course, it fell down. Now, that's right, we're going to lift it up and drag it out. Now we're just going to move it out of the way so I don't manage to crush my hands or anything if the crane fails. Excuse me, Lachlan. Okay, I've now mounted the engine mount to the chassis, and we'll do it up this other way. I think it's possibly the only way it can be done, because there's a bit of a job to do as it was. Okay, let's torque down. Still need the tappets adjusted, but we'll do that at a later time. Okay, we've now got the front engine mount all bolted up. Time to put on the side engine mount, and I actually had to take off the water pump to be able to do that because the actual mount bolts on through there. This is when I discovered I had an issue. The bottom stud was stretched through the thread and wouldn't tighten up. So unfortunately when I tried to take it out, it broke and I had to end up drilling it out and tapping it out. So at the moment I'm just waiting for a new stud to arrive. Should be hopefully be here in the next few days. And once that comes in, I can then put it on the stabilizer mount into through there. and the water pump on, and then we can move on from that. So that's it for today's video. Hopefully next time I should be able to be putting the gearbox back in, so then I can actually put the tail shaft in, and that's the drivetrain fairly well done. So, you know, a few bits and pieces I got to put in, like, you know, the oil filter and so forth, and obviously the carbies, and so, but that's down the track. So don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like, you know, make a comment on the videos as well. I always like to read those, and I try and answer every single one of them. So until next time, I'll see you later.